Hello, my name is Edgar Leone. I go to Merced College, and today I'm going to be talking about the norovirus. The title of my presentation is Norovirus, a Threat to Medical Facilities. When people think of the norovirus, they often ask, well, what is it? The norovirus is a virus that affects mainly the digestive system and causes effects and symptoms that can particularly pertain to the digestive system. It is actually a common bug, and there are various ways to contract it. It actually has a more recognizable name. Do you know what it is? The answer to that question is either the stomach flu or the stomach bug. Well, why is understanding the norovirus important and in nursing home facilities? Well, no person is actually immune to the norovirus, meaning it is actually very contagious. You can contract it and you can pass it on very, very easily to other people, including loved ones. It is actually estimated that around 21 million cases are reported each year in the US alone, and is actually one of the most common outbreaks in healthcare facilities and food service agencies. This can also be very serious for specific groups, which we'll get into right now. These groups include infants, children, elderly, and people that are immune compromised. For infants and children, it is actually about the same reasons. Usually it's the two main symptoms that are associated with the norovirus, which include vomiting and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration. Dehydration is actually a life-threatening emergency for people in these particular groups because they already have a difficult time retaining the hydration that they need in order to survive and to perform normal bodily functions. Usually these particular groups are going to require additional aid if they contract really any virus. For people that are immune compromised, this also pertains to infants, children, and the elderly. This is people that probably have autoimmune disorders, people with HIV or AIDS, patients that are receiving chemotherapy from cancer, another disease that requires some sort of immunotherapy. Also people who have recently had major surgery. The reason why this is because when people get major surgery, which can include organ transplants, oftentimes they're given immunosuppressants, which can trigger a latent response to the virus, and sometimes your body just won't react at all because it is suppressed from the medication. These groups are going to require additional therapy compared to other people. Now, for the morphology, the norovirus is actually a single-stranded RNA. The most common human type of norovirus that can be identified is the NOVG2.4. It measures between 27 and 40 nanometers. It is part of the Caliciviiridae, and this virus contains approximately 90 dimers. A dimer is basically these tree-looking, things that surround the shell of the virus. It is estimated to have around 90 dimers. Now, some common symptoms include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and fever. If you really pay attention, these are actually pretty common symptoms. So oftentimes this disease can be misdiagnosed. And usually it isn't really serious if you fail to diagnose this disorder, except for those who are in those special target groups. Usually you'll understand and you'll be able to detect, like, oh, you do have the norovirus, depending on what stage they're in. When they're in the dehydration stage, you'll be able to better understand, like, oh, they probably do have this virus, and it's pretty much very much affecting them. So you have to start treating right away. Now, again, because this is a virus, it does not have a cure. The most appropriate treatment mainly focuses on the symptoms. So if you're nauseous or you actually are throwing up, you'll probably be recommended antiemetics, which basically means they reverse nausea and vomiting. You'll also be recommended non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as ibuprofen or Tylenol. These are usually used to treat the fever and the pain, body soreness associated with the virus. In serious cases, you may require intravenous fluid replacement and antiviral drugs. The intravenous fluid replacement is given through an IV through your vein. Usually when you're given this treatment, it is going to require hospital admission and hospital stay. Again, this is more for the serious types. And antiviral drugs, the reason why they're not given right away is because they do they affect the body heavily. They can cause some organ damage because it is a very, very strong drug. But generally, in most cases, people don't need to stay in the hospital. However, they should avoid large group gatherings, and especially around food like restaurants or parties. Now, as you can see in healthcare facilities, there are additional steps taken in order to prevent this infection. At home, usually you're just recommended to disinfect daily objects such as doorknobs. You want to disinfect areas that are going to touch food most often, like countertops, and you want to use Lysol spray, these sprays that are not only antibacterial but antiviral. Usually you want to look for cleaners that have viricide in them. You want to wash your hands frequently, and you want to avoid touching your eyes and your mouth frequently. Healthcare facilities usually take extra precautions because, like I said, because it is highly contagious, it's important to take extra precautions to avoid spreading it around, because once one person gets it, chances are 3 people also already have it. They're just not showing symptoms. So usually around the time that norovirus is most common, they're going to schedule times to disinfect frequently around the day. They're going to have all staff that perform patient care to wash their hands very frequently. Usually it's after every patient. They also should avoid touching their eyes and mouth. They should don appropriate PPE when handling isolated patients and belongings such as lunch trays. When people are diagnosed with norovirus, it is considered highly contagious, which is going to require isolation in nursing homes and hospitals. For healthcare professionals, you do not want to go to work sick, because then you risk passing it on. And you want to follow isolation guidelines, such as reducing patient contact with non-essential persons. In certain facilities, if there's an outbreak going on in a specific wing or ward, they're going to isolate all those patients, and they're going to restrict staff from interchanging with other staff in other wings and other wards. For statistics, 51% of people who have died of the norovirus was a result to dehydration. These people were actually 75 years or older. So a little bit more than half of people that were 75 years old and were dehydrated have died of norovirus. This is based specifically on women who were white and admitted into a nursing home. Cases peak at 81% between November and April. This is actually very common. It's about the same for the influenza virus. It has a global mortality rate of 0.0003, but has a survival or success rate of 99.0007. So, in conclusion, the norovirus is a gastrointestinal viral infection that presents with typical gastric symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, fever, fatigue, and soreness. There actually is no treatment for the norovirus. However, therapies can include symptom-targeted medication and fluid replacement. Something I want to include with fluid replacement is people that have the norovirus, while they don't need to have intravenous fluids, usually your primary care physician is going to recommend you drink electrolyte supplements such as Gatorade or Pedialyte. Generally, the virus is very survivable unless you reside in a nursing home due to age and immunocompromised patients. This is important to understand because a lot of the times people that are in nursing homes are already sick with other disorders, which makes them incapable to take care of themselves. These people can be disabled, they can have cancer, they can have dementia, they could be recovering from a stroke, because in nursing homes it also pertains to post-acute care facilities. A lot of facilities are intermingled with both specialties. So that is actually it. All right, thank you.